And I'll tell you this much here: what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
Shedeur was supposed to go to the Browns this whole time. The whole NFL colluded, including the Browns. Shedeur is taking the punishment for Deshaun Watson. Shedeur is collateral collusion. He's not even in the league yet, but he getting punished for what happened with Deshaun Watson. I think I just get on YouTube to talk to myself. I said this on July 4th, over a month ago, that Shedeur Sanders was part of collateral collusion. The Cleveland Browns was forced and had to draft Shedeur Sanders. As y'all just heard, man, Eric Dickerson, the Hall of Famer running back for the LA Rams, then came out and said that it was collusion with NFL teams to not draft Shedeur until Jimmy Haslam said he got that call, talked to the right people Saturday morning.
This much here, what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source. And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him. They were forced into drafting him because somebody made a call to them, said, you know, and I said, when I say this is a NFL side source for sure, you know, so this is not hearsay. Look, one thing about it is, and I'll just say it, you know, they don't like when guys have brands, especially black players, you know, and that's mostly us with the brand, you know, some guys are flashy and all that kind of stuff. They don't like that. This kid, Fred, I don't think you knew this. He had already made $17 million from a car deal that he already signed. A car deal. He had $17 million already for that. Then he had another 14, I think, from a was it a shoe, Nike or some shoe deal. So he was good with money wise, but I know he wants to play in the National Football League for sure.
So how does he do that? I mean, Cleveland picked him. I find it fascinating, Eric. You're saying somebody even called the Browns and said, don't do that.
Yeah, somebody called the Browns and said.
So what was the objective? He doesn't get picked. He's an undrafted free agent.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They were going to have him, he was not going to get drafted, to basically show you this is what happens when you do this. I mean, look, you know, McFred, the NFL got all kind of power. They do all kind of stuff. You know, you know that, and I know it too. But no, they were not going to draft him. And like I said, when I said it came from a good source, it came from a very, very good source. They said they weren't going to draft him. I like, because when I saw it, when he went to the second round, I said, oh, I said it out loud. They're not going to draft him. They're going to make an example out of him. I knew it.
So
the guy that they drafted, the quarterback they drafted ahead of him, he wasn't as good as Shedeur. He even said it. I mean, how do you draft a guy that you know that's not better than the guy that you drafted after? That don't even make sense.
Do you think Shedeur knew they wanted to make an example out of him?
I don't think he realized to the extent that the NFL would go to make an example out of him. No, I don't think he knew that. I don't think his dad knew the extent.
I have been on here and repeatedly told y'all that the NFL sees Shedeur Sanders as a threat. He has his own brand. He does not need the NFL for anything, even the money. I told y'all it was not about the money. That's the whole reason why I came up with the prime equity deal, so he can capitalize from his brand and his social media, his clothes, his likeness, his celebritism. I told y'all the same thing. And then I said it once again. Some people probably think I'm crazy on this thing when y'all watch my videos. If you go watch my Jimmy Haslam says he didn't pick Shedeur Sanders or didn't want Shedeur Sanders video, I clearly state in the video that it was collusion against Shedeur, that he was going to go undrafted. The NFL made the Cleveland Browns draft Shedeur, they made Cleveland trade them 2 fifth-round picks to trade up in the 5th round to get Shedeur to make it look like, see, we drafted him. Shedeur Sanders was going to go undrafted. Now, you tell me one thing. Which is the biggest story? Which one is the biggest story? Shedeur getting drafted in the 5th round or Shedeur Sanders that was projected to go top pick, top 3, top 10, 1st round, fell to the 5th round, went from 5th round to undrafted? Which is the biggest story? A top 10 1st round pick goes undrafted. That is the biggest story. I told y'all right here on my channel. I need y'all to like, subscribe, and share.
Eric Dickerson was on a radio show, Fred Rogan and Rodney Peete on AM 570, and had this to say about Shedeur Sanders.
And I'll tell you this much here: what I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
Really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
Your thoughts, Albert?
Yeah, I always think these sorts of conspiracies are a little overdone. I don't think there was any conspiracy here. I think it's relatively simple what happened. I think the great majority of NFL teams did not view him as a first-round prospect, contrary to what had been out there for the year previous. And then I think what happens is once you get past the 1st round, you look at the history over the years, not a lot of quarterbacks go in the 2nd or 3rd rounds. It's just the reality of it, like that most teams look at it like if there's a guy who's going to be our long-term answer at the position, we just take him in the 1st round. And if a guy's not going to be your long-term answer at the position, then you probably aren't going to take him in the 2nd or 3rd round because you're going to be looking for a long-term answer at another position with those picks. So the fate of Shedeur Sanders, I think he fell out of the 1st round for football reasons. I think he kept falling for everything else, right? Like for the fact that most coaches look at their backup quarterbacks and say, I want you to blend in with the furniture. I don't want to notice that you're even here. You know, that's the way, for better or worse, most teams approach the quarterback position, which I think to some degree short-circuited the careers of guys like Tim Tebow and Colin Kaepernick. So I like Shedeur's case was complicated going into the draft, but I don't think it was that complicated where there was some sort of weird conspiracy to keep him out of the league.
Yeah, from what I was told by a source, he didn't interview well. He kind of came in and he was interviewing teams instead of the other way around.
Right.
And you're right. He didn't have 1st-round talent. There was nothing exceptional about him except for maybe his toughness and his pedigree. But I can't imagine all of these owners getting together and somebody saying, hey, everybody, listen, don't draft Shedeur Sanders. Do I think the Browns –
especially when there's somebody with the bullhorn that Dion has on the other side of it. You know what I mean? That seems like ridiculous that seems like the wrong tree to bark up, doesn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it does.
Once again, there goes Albert Beer talking his nonsense. It was a conspiracy. It was collusion, collateral collusion, like I've been saying. How can you not think that the NFL owners that are businesses can collude against when they clearly have done it before? They clearly have done it before. Look at the tape. Look at the tape. Look at the numbers. And you tell me, you go look at the tape and look at the numbers and tell me, how is it that Shedeur Sanders fell out of the 1st round because of football reasons and kept falling because of everything else? Last time I checked, if you go on the interview, after the team or the job asks you questions, they say, do you have any questions for us? So why would I not interview the job or interview the team or ask questions? I need to know if I'm a good fit for this job. Same thing while the job is asking me questions. So if I'm interviewing the job, just like they're interviewing me, That should be a positive if they trying to figure out if I'm a good fit for them and I'm trying to figure out if they're a good fit for me. What is the problem? You just got in your feelings, because we all emotional. You got in your feelings, NFL teams, that Shedeur Sanders is a liberated prototype. Go read the book, $40 Million Slave. Shedeur is the liberated prototype. Shedeur Sanders does not bend the knee. He does not concede or need your validation for anything you have to say. This man is his own man. He thinks with his own mind. He moves how he want to move. He got his own brand. A lot of people see that as a threat. A young black man that's smart and walking in his excellence is a threat. You come in there, I told y'all before, it's two type of people in the room when you walk in. You got one person, they're going to say, who is that? Then you got the other person, they're going to say who they think they is. A lot of these NFL teams, when Shedeur walked in there, they said, who do he think he is? Coming there with these chains on. I don't believe the headphone story. What sources you talking about? Tell me every interview before he got drafted, where in the world would he go into a job interview with headphones on, Giants? I'm still looking for the tape. Coming soon. But I'm telling you right now, this whole situation was collateral collusion. I don't care what this Albert dude say. I done told y'all, start doing your own research. Think with your own mind. Put 2 and 2 to make 4. 1 and 2 to make 3. I got it back here on the board already. Y'all see it in the background. But I need y'all to hit that like button, subscribe, and share, and tell your friend about that Money Man you already know, because I brought it right here on my channel first. And if you've been here, I appreciate you. Until next time, y'all already know what time it is. Y'all better stop playing with me. My savages!
Money Man in the thing of a T and playing no games. Should already know my name when I speak NCC flame. Got my YouTube poppin', man. Like, subscribe, and everything in between. You already know Money Man. Money Man.